Welcome to the Impactful Engineer Project. I'm Steve Maxey, and with my co-host and brother Jake, we are here to bring you guidance, fresh ideas, and the tools to help you become an impactful engineer.
Most engineers don't fail because they lack technical skill. They fail because they never learn how to lead, communicate, and take ownership. This is the Impactful Engineer. We give you the blueprint for career excellence, not textbook answers. I'm Steve Maxey, a senior manager in product development, and I'm here with my brother Jake, owner and principal engineer at NLS Engineering. If you're done with the status quo and ready to take control of your career, then you're listening to the right show.
Welcome, everybody.
Welcome.
Welcome back to the show where we talk about stuff that is not in the classroom.
Yeah.
I don't know the last time you ever came, like I went to school, went to a class, and they were like, today we're going to talk about
integrals.
Managing expectations.
Yeah.
Oh, huh? What? Yeah. Well, cool. Yeah. Housekeeping. We do 3 episode types. Steve and I are on most of the time for episode type number 1, sharing what we learned, what we're still dealing with today, remembering the lessons from the past, bringing them forward, keeping everything alive so that everybody can know that we struggle with this stuff all the time too. We just happen to be a little more on top of it because it's on top of our mind a lot because we do the show, right? And we think about this stuff a lot. Second episode type is one of us, either of us will come on and do the same thing basically. Very rare nowadays to do those. Maybe more, maybe not, whatever.
Yeah.
Still on the list. and then we do guest episodes where we bring someone in that has an expertise to share, someone that's also living in the alternative education world that wants to bring a perspective, and hopefully it helps you guys. This is all about, it's not really, it's all about engineers, right? But it's really not about engineering.
Well, that's where we come from, is engineering. And that's how we tie our stories and tie our experiences in. But this can be applied in life, in any profession, but from the filter of engineers. And that's why we target engineers, because that's they speak our jam, you know what I mean?
There you go. All right. Today, I wanted to talk about something that I experienced last week as part of my job that I think is very valuable. So here we go. It does kind of all come down to managing expectations, but there was a nuance to this one that I thought would be great to share, which is that the other person whose expectations were not met was hard to pick up on for me, for whatever reason, and not clearly communicated to me in the way that I would need to hear it in order to identify it as something that's super important. Also woven in there is you will get some stuff wrong. Not all, as hard as I try to get all communicated expectations, whether it's in the field, via email, on the phone, whatever, into how I operate and into my deliverables, some things go undone. You can't be perfect, right? And so in this instance, I had something that was communicated to me as an expectation that I had woven into my design decision log and requirements document, that while I saw it, I said, this is not important enough to spend time on it on this deliverable. So I skipped over it and I put it on a loose ends list for our next deliverable. But the person that had asked for that specific thing, I failed to write in my notes that it was of utmost importance to them and that I needed to sacrifice other things when I came down to the triage time to get that thing in. Right. So that's the setup. That's the context. Mm-hmm. Totally biffed it there. Okay. But then we're reviewing the set, right? And we're on the phone, and the person, in my mind, it's something that can be handled later within the next couple of weeks. In their mind, it was something they had asked for and expected on this previous set, and now was upset that it wasn't in, right? But they didn't claim that right out of the gate. And for me, it's a little harder to pick up on stuff for me. I actually have to gain clarity on a lot of things because the way that I think about stuff is so different from everybody else. Even in my day-to-day conversations, I have to expand on that. What do you mean right there? because I don't know what it is. I could just be a complete moron, but I have to gain clarity always because I just have this fixed mind, like one step to two step and literal interpretations and things like this. So anyway, go ahead. You were gonna say
No,
something.
I just wanted to touch real quick on that. Everyone, like even if you're after the same goal and the same targets, everyone has different priorities in what matters the most to them, and you might have misalignment there. And so, while you know that you'll be able to get to the goal by going route A, that person is comfortable and knows that route B works very well. They both get there, but they have the expectation to meet the milestones on their route. And so you have to be able to pull that out of them and then to have a strong working relationship and be able to manage that.
And honestly, most of it just goes unspoken through most of life. It's like, yeah, they didn't quite get it, but it's not worth talking about it.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. But when you're in your career, and you can take this to any part of your life, but in your career, you want to on purpose dig those things out.
Mm-hmm.
Get the edge of the broom into the corner of the wall and get all the damn particles, Steve. Like Dad used to say when we were sweeping the kitchen.
Yeah, but a lot of people are not confrontational, right? And so while they prefer route B, they will just shut down and be quiet and not really want to say anything when you're the more extroverted person and you're like, hey, yeah, we're going to do this route A method. We're going to get there. It's going to be awesome, blah, blah, blah. And they'll just shut down and then they won't voice their opinion. And now they're only going to put in 50% of effort, And so it is your responsibility to seek their preferences, pull them out and understand them. So that way you can make sure that they are as bought in as you are.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yes, very important to extract the information from them. So back to the story. Instead of saying, hey, you missed this, fix it, tell me when you can, send it to me. It was this kind of like, hey, let's talk about this, curb and the detailing and I want to and it was kind of like this just roundabout thing, and I'm like, in my head I'm like, we've already talked about this, it's on the drawing, like what are we doing? And I'm like, yeah, cool, totally, and when we should go to the field, we should figure that out, and when we do the construction documents we should detail it, yeah, absolutely, cool, all right. And then they hung up real quick, they're like, sounds good, see you later, and they hung up, and I'm like, okay, at least that was a clear indicator, right? That there was some friction there, that there was some misunderstanding that wasn't being communicated, and then I was kind of like stepping on them. And so I was like, so that was a good that was a good thing to hear. It triggered me into it. I was like, okay. And then I had to go do something else. Followed up. Yes, I finally drug it out of them. / sent me another text. / we figured it out. Right. Oh, that's the thing you needed. Yeah. Okay. And I go and I look back at my notes in my decision log, and I'm like, oh yeah, there it is, there's the thing I kicked down the road. And then I'm like, that was super important and it wasn't ticked on the priority box, and I'm like, well, you live and you learn. But then I just communicated back, I said, hey, by this time you'll have it, that is my mistake, you said you wanted it in this submission and my bad, I'm getting that to you, and then it's gonna be fine. But that just reminded me of this lesson. Overdoing it on the clarity will never get you in trouble, ever. You may feel like, well, for me, when I used to not gain ultimate clarity, I would always feel like, man, I'm an idiot. Because when they say something, I should just be able to understand what they're saying, right away. And if I can't, there's something wrong with me. And then they're going to react because their ego is going to get touched, and they're going to go, well, I was fucking clear. How do I be clearer for you, Mr. Idiot Jake? So and some people react that way, right? They don't go, okay, yeah, let me say it in another way so you understand. They go, I was clear. Was I not clear? I've had that conversation on the phone. I'll ask for clarity, and they'll go, well, everybody else got it. Why didn't you get it? And they'll say it just like that. And that makes the Jake rage factor go through the fucking roof. My blood pressure's high. But but
you contain it.
You contain it. And I go, I don't say this, but in my head, I'm like, I understand that 100% of everyone else is smarter than me, but I'm that one dumb fucker that you're just gonna have to say it again, you know? And so I go, okay, could you repeat that again? I'm being playful here, but like gaining that clarity, even in the face of like you thinking you should understand, is a power move. That's strong character. That is, we get it done no matter what. And if you don't know, you're not getting it done.
And a nice tactical way to do this, and it also communicates that you are actively listening, is to repeat what they said, right? So if they give a big spiel about, you know, what they want done, you go, oh, okay, let me make sure that I'm understanding this correctly. And then you just repeat back what they said in your own words, right? You can paraphrase it and like how you would give that direction to someone else. You want me to do this and this and this and that and this, and by this time, you know, et cetera, et cetera. And they'll be like, okay, he was listening and he understands what I am asking. So now I'm going to be confident in that he'll be able to deliver. And then they'll respond that, yep, that's perfect. Great. We're set to go. And then now you've not only communicated that you were listening, that you're confident in the direction, but now that you're just able to execute.
Yeah. And this stuff will never go away, guys. So like you can have all the tech you want and all the systems and just be all, it's just super tech enabled and you've got it down and there nothing will ever be missed. But if you're not communicating it or gaining that upfront clarity, it's still a system that's going to fail. It's like, so this is a root skill that will never go away, and it will set you apart for sure. Because not a lot of people do take the extra time to do that. And then as you're training yourself and building that skill, it'll get easier and easier for you to execute on it, and it will bleed into a ton of other things. For example, like writing engineering proposals, you're going to be able to communicate your understanding to what was given to you as a basis so well and almost without even thinking about it. So it's that communication part, Steve.
Yeah.
Kind of the ownership too, you know. But I don't think it'll fail you. I don't think you can overdo it. So I would just overdo it.
Yeah. And it also kind of points to the importance of in-person communication, or at least video communication, right? So if you're on a Teams call, turn the stupid camera on. Because you can see, you know, body language when you're explaining something to someone and they have that deer in the headlights look. You're like, okay, we're not getting clarity here. I need to say it a different way so it lands, right? You're not going to be able to tell that in email or just on a audio call. So just turn the stupid camera on when you're on a Teams call.
Much is conveyed through.
It is. I've been on so many meetings where people just, you know, there's the two little initials and that's it. And they just refuse to turn the camera on. It's way less effective.
Yeah. Throws it off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Throws off your whole setup of the meeting and the way you orchestrate it too. You always got to ask like questions like, hey, Steve, you with us? You know, like,
yeah.
You got that? Because this is your part of the scope. Like, so you understand, right? That makes you feel like a jackass because you're like, does that make sense? You know, like, but if they have their screen on and they're kind of nodding their head and then you see their eyebrows, maybe they squint a little bit or tilt their head or whatever, unless you're just always just deadpan as a person, then I guess then it's the same as just having the camera off. If you're just going to be like, you know, Terminator.
Like statue.
Just...
Yeah. But, you know, if the person's smiling, like, and they're nodding their head and they look like they're just really into what you're saying, you know, you have full alignment. Like they're behind whatever you're talking about.
Yeah.
And if they have that furrowed look, their eyebrows are all, you know, scrunched and they're like, you know, they're skeptical. They don't really agree with what you're saying. And then now you can ask for their advice in mid sentence. You'd be like, hey, Jake, what do you think about this? Do you have a better way to do this? You know, because I'm just spitballing here. You know,
yeah,
so,
exactly. Yeah. Do it that way. I'm thinking back to meetings I've had with other people, and they'll like outwardly identify the face look and then ask their question. It's like, dude, do not do that. Steve, you look a little pissed off. What do you think? What are you thinking about this? Like, not a good idea, dude.
Yeah.
Telling people how they're feeling.
Yeah,
like,
don't label their
based on their face.
You look really jazzed.
But people do it. Yeah.
Oh, I know.
oh, you look really confused. Is there something we can kind of clarify?
Yeah, that's like an insult.
Yeah. Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
Oh man. Anyway, that's it. That's the message. I mean, just look for clarity constantly. It never goes wrong. It can only get better using that technique.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you don't do it, then the likelihood goes way up that you're misaligned. You know. So my issue specifically was I failed to document the prioritization amongst the hundreds and hundreds of requests that I get a day and multiple jobs that I'm managing with one brain. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's why I use systems. But now, and here's the next lesson. Just learn and put in a system that will not allow that one specific thing to happen again, and just string as many of those in a row as you can. And before you know it, like all the problems never will not go away ever. There will always be a problem. That's why we're here, to solve problems. But you'll be in the new era of problems. You'll be in the next frontier of problems. You know, keep building your system. So like when a problem comes in, this has nothing to do with what we were just talking about, but I want to fit it in. When a problem comes in like that, just implement a new system, right? So that's what I did. It's like every item shall be assigned a priority. If it's blank, we need to figure out what the priority is, you know?
Yeah. And if you're only communicating in emails, so I do this a lot with, overseas suppliers. You don't have the opportunity to have in-person or video calls, etc. You have to do emails because they're on the opposite side of the planet. You have to go over and beyond in creating visuals, right? Like have a picture with an arrow and be like, hey, this thing right here is, a problem in the design. Can we do this instead, right? Like, and then ask for confirmation that they have that direction, et cetera, et cetera. Like, it's okay to over communicate like this.
Dude, it is the most important thing. Like the thing that you just brought up, we could talk for another half an hour on that. And in my world, that's communicating engineering markups, right? With global teams for a bazillion jobs with different time zones and working expectations and all that. Like the thing that you said, point to the thing. Like when you're not in a real-time scenario, you can't go, oh, what'd you mean? Oh, this thing. You mean this thing? Yeah, that thing. Okay, I highlighted it. Yep. Nope, we didn't get it. Yeah, it's that one. Okay, great. Like that's when you're absent of that. It's painful, but you have to do it.
Yeah. If you are trying to change the dimension of a part, right? You don't just in the word say, hey, we need to increase the size by 1 inch. What you need to do is you need to have an arrow that points to the part and then dimension leads that come off the part in the exact direction that you want growth. And you say plus 1 inch, and then here's the original dimension. So now it equals this dimension.
And you know what sucks about starting my own firm is that I've started over with the team. So like when I was an employee and had the same team for a few years, it was so great because then I could just give very vague directions and things just got done. It's like, this doesn't work. The load is off, fix. And it was just done beautifully. Now it's like, I had to start all over again. It's like, you got to move this breaker to this one. It's got to increase by this much. And then I got to lay it all out and write like this freaking sequence, I miss that.
Yeah.
It's a skill in itself is to take.
I was just about to say that, a whole nother episode could be just, and I think we have, is mastering the vague and uncertainty. If you can perform with no direction whatsoever, you are invaluable.
And then if you can perform with no direction whatsoever and gain clarity at the same time, you're unstoppable. So, anyway, that's the episode, Stephen.
Absolutely. So if you learned something today, or think someone else needs to hear our point of view, please share the show. It's the best way we can grow this podcast and continue to create value and impact for the engineering community.